in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today's topic is very, very relevant because everyone knows the shortage of water, what is going to happen. So the topic is role of youth in water harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is much better than unnecessary water wasting. A drop harvested is a crop harvested. Water or rainwater in harvesting is the collection and storage of rain rather than allowing it to run off. Rainwater is collected from a roof-like surface and redirected to a tank, cistern, deep pit well, shaft or borehole aquifer or a reservoir with a percolation so that it steeps down and restores the groundwater. Dew and fog can also be collected with nets or other tools. Rainwater harvesting differs from stormwater harvesting as the runoff is collected from roofs rather than creeks, drains, roads, or any other land surfaces. Its uses include watering gardens, livestock, irrigation, domestic use with proper treatment, and domestic heating. The harvested water can also be committed to longer-term storage or groundwater recharge. Rainwater harvesting is one of the simplest and oldest methods of self-supply of water for households and residential and household scale projects. Rooftop rainwater harvesting is used to provide drinking water, domestic water, water for livestock, water for small irrigation, and a way to replenish groundwater levels. In regards to urban agriculture, rainwater harvesting in urban areas reduces the impact of runoff and flooding. The combination of urban green rooftops with rainwater catchments have been found to reduce building temperature by more than 1.3 degrees Celsius. Rainwater harvesting in conjunction with urban agriculture would be a viable way to help meet the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for cleaner and sustainable cities, health and well-being, and food and water security. The technology is available. However, it needs to be remodeled in order to use water more efficiently, especially in an urban setting. The construction and use of cisterns to store rainwater can be traced back to the Neolithic age, when waterproof lime plaster cisterns were built in the floors of houses in village locations of the Levant, in large areas in Southwest Asia, south of the Taurus Mountains, bound by the Mediterranean Sea in the west, the Arabian Desert in the south, and Mesopotamia in the east. By the late 4000 BC, cisterns were essential elements of emerging water management techniques used in dry land farming. Many ancient cisterns have been discovered in some parts of Jerusalem and the entire land of Israel. Around 300 BC, farming communities in Baluchistan, now located in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran, and Kutch, India, used rainwater harvesting for agriculture and many other uses. Rainwater harvesting was done by Chola kings as well. Rainwater from the Brideshwar temple located in Balangapati Nagar, Tanjore, India, was collected in Shiv Ganga tank. During the later Chola period, the Viranam tank was built 1011 to 1037 AD in the Cuddalore district of Tamil Nadu to store water for drinking and irrigation purpose. Viranam is a 16-kilometer long tank with a storage capacity of 4 crore 15 lakhs cubic meter. Though little known for the centuries, the town of Venice depends on rainwater harvesting. The lagoon which surrounds Venice is brackish water, which is not suitable for drinking. The ancient inhabitants of Venice established a system of rainwater collection which was based on man-made insulated collection wells. Water percolated down the specially designed stone flooring and was filtered by a layer of sands, then collected at the bottom of the well. Later, as Venice acquired territories on the mainland, it started to import water by the boat from local rivers, but the wells remained in use and were especially important in the time of war, when access to the mainland water could be blocked by an enemy. Water has been harvested in India since antiquity with our ancestors perfecting the art of water management. Many water harvesting structures and water conveyance systems specific to the eco regions and culture has been developed. They harvested the raindrop directly from rooftops. They collected water and stored it in the tanks built in their courtyards. From open community lands, they collected the rains and stored it in artificial wells. They harvested monsoon runoff by capturing water from swollen streams during the monsoon season and stored it various forms of water bodies. They harvested water from flooded rivers. Par is a common word harvesting practice in the western Rajasthan region. It is a common place where the rainwater flows from the agar catchment and in the process percolates in the sandy soil. In order to access the Rajani Pani, percolated water, quays or berries are dug in the agar storage area. Quays or berries are normally 5 meters to 12 meters deep. The structure was constructed through traditional masonry technology. Normally, 6 to 10 of them are constructed in a par. However, depending on the size of the par, the numbers of quays or berries are decided. There are pars in Jaisalmer district where there are more than 20 quays are in operation. This is the most predominant form of rainwater harvesting in the region. Rainwater harvested through par technique is known as Patali Pani. There are three main types of rainwater harvesting system: direct pumped, indirect pumped, and indirect cavity. Tamil Nadu was the first state to make rainwater harvesting compulsory for every building to avoid groundwater depletion. The project was launched in 2001 and has been implemented in all rural areas of Tamil Nadu. Posters all over Tamil Nadu, including rural areas, create awareness about the harvesting rainwater. It gave excellent results within 5 years, and slowly every state took it as a role model. Since its implementation, Chennai had a 50% rise in water levels in 5 years, and the water quality significantly improved. At present, the need of the hour is not only the development of water resource, but also their efficient management in a sustainable manner. India's population consists approximately 65% of youth currently, and same may be the case with other developing countries. In case of developed countries who are aging fast, youth are in minority. About 30% of the people in India live in cities that are expected to have double population by the year 2050. With that expected growth in population and economy, as well as changing lifestyle, the pressure on already strained water resources is increasing. However, growing population, urbanization, and industrialization has led to considerable increase in demand of water for various purposes. For example, irrigation, domestic needs, industrial requirement, etc. This scenario poses a sense of responsibility amongst the youth in the developed as well as developing country for managing the water resources towards the goals of sustainability and self-reliance. It is important to ensure that the exertion made towards sustainable development, including water management, prioritize the needs of communities towards a meaningful growth. Education and youth empowerment works in collaboration to create more dynamic processes inside international bodies, governments, industries, and civil societies, thus guaranteeing the development of communities inclined towards sustainable water management. Although development of irrigation has resulted in increase in agriculture production, it has also caused adverse effect in the form of water logging, leading to soil salinity. State Water Council of India under state government can be the best possible organization for water management. Expert panel on climate change should be set up in every state. Dam Safety Committee in India should manage the proper distribution of water among the region. Apprehending and predicting the sources of containments, developing technologies to clean up the sources, and understanding the consequences of water quality degradation for aquatic ecosystems and human use of waterways. Many information systems can be set up, such as land use cadastre, state water resources monitoring system, and many more. The World Health Organization estimated that 97 million Indians lack access to safe water today, second only to China. As a result, the World Bank evaluates that 21% of the communicable diseases in India are related to unsafe water. Without change, the problem may get worse as India is projected to grow significantly in the coming decades and overtake China by 2028 to become the world's most populous country. Poor maintenance of water bodies encourages water loss through seepage, resulting in low water use efficiency of 25 to 40% against the target of 65%. Hence, proper lining of water retaining structures should be taken up. The water quality is being monitored by several agencies in the country, the Central Water Commission and surface water agencies in respective states, while developing water resources through various projects are mainly concerned with the requirements of irrigation and drinking water in terms of quantity and to some extent quality. It is important to involve youth in water management projects in order to get new ideas for conserving water by capturing their imagination and their way of thinking. It is important to make sure that the action made towards sustainable development prioritize the demands of communities. Education and youth together can create more dynamic processes inside government, industries, and civil societies in order to guarantee the development of communities depending upon sustainable water management. Youth can play a vital role for managing the water resources around the world by acting as stakeholders, policymakers, and taking up responsibility in revolutionizing the sustainable water management. By teaming up with other stakeholders and convincing them for using and promoting their ideas for water management. Wastewater is a resource that can be used productively. Grey water can be used for irrigation, urban agriculture, and industrial processes, treated or untreated depending on the purpose of its use and its legislation. Nutrients in the wastewater, grey and black, can be used for energy production and fertilizer production. Effective water governance with an IUWM perspective encompasses many aspects with the main following key elements that are adopting a new mindset, a holistic and cross-sectoral approach, linking urban water management with overall urban planning, adjusting some of the policy and legislation concerning the use of water and reuse of wastewater, analyzing aspects of centralized and decentralized management, assessing the economic and financial impact of adopting an IUWM approach, building the capacity of technical and managerial staff, and sharing information with the public and users. By this, the youth will act as a catalyst to bring about the change which we need, because youth immense the potential to mobilize the masses and can act as a link between two generations. With the active participation of youth and with their interest, unsustainable water management, the whole point of starting these projects of conserving water can be successful. Necessary measures in the form of rainwater harvesting and groundwater recharge and proper management through appropriate legislative measures have been initiated. The Government of India and an incredible interest on youth. Many plans have been activated, such as State Water Resource Management Strategy and River Basin Plan. The National Water Resource Council needs to play a greater role in integrating policy and program on a continuous basis. This could be done by providing the council with a core expert body with an advisor at its hand, so the executive action on the basis of its recommendation is monitored. There are many areas of sustainable growth where active participation of youth is required. By indulging today's youth in water management projects and ideas, we can capture their imagination for future advancement. The amount of potential that today's growing youth have, they can spread awareness among the people about how to manage water resources. Youth can use social platforms and other channels for communication for active participation of people in water management. The power of youth can bring a change by protesting against pollution, spreading industries, and changing some policies which can help government to take some initiative for water management. Better understanding is required of water management from the river basin down to the field level. And to discuss this very, very important topic today, the role of youth in water harvesting, we have six youths with us, along with our chief guest. And I would like to invite and introduce my chief guest today, and he is Dr. Shailesh Mishra. Welcome, Dr. Shailesh Mishra, on our show. Dr. Shailesh Mishra is the member of Expert Committee, Ministry of Communication and IT, Government of India. He is a dual doctorate with 17 plus years experience as corporate manager and environmental researcher. He has been into varied areas of regulations, compliances, brand support, business strategies, etc. Government affairs for various MNCs on international levels. He is an advisory member, is an advisory member of various bodies. He is the member of Board of Advisors, Department of International Management Studies, Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad. He is scientific advisor of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam University Foundation. His environmental works includes sponsoring 10,500 trees in NCR and Tamil Nadu since 2011 and 18 rainwater harvesting projects. He is involved in manufacture of earth environmental centering products like organic composting machines, air treatment solutions, etc., which are awarded Best Products Innovations in Southeast Asia in 2019-2020. He is the expert committee ESDM of Ministry of Electronics and IT Government of India. He is having more than 43 patents, IPRs over various subjects, including environmental containments. He is associated with institutes of national importance such as IITs, IIMs, IISCs, and their ongoing projects and research on environment-friendly products and solutions. His aim is to make India a leading corporate world with an environmentally friendly ecosystem. Welcome, Dr. Shailesh Mishra on our show. Dr. Shailesh Mishra, please unmute yourself. Dr. Mishra, please unmute. Dr. Mishra, you have heard the report which I read, and you being an authority and you are associated with water harvesting for so long, and you have done so much research, as well as you have implemented 18 projects on rainwater harvesting. You are the best person to talk about, and you can guide and tell us the role of youth in water management. Dr. Shailesh Mishra, please.
Thank you so much, Lal sir, for the wonderful introduction. I really don't know whether I deserve these words or not, but I'll definitely try to sail through the topic you have extended. So this topic, as I understand, it's a very technical topic. There are lots of things going on with the GIS, remote sensing, and virtual reality, so many things. So I don't want to drag it to on the very technical side of it. I'll keep it very crisp and simple so that the students can understand. As I understand the topic, the role of youth in the water harvesting. So I'll categorically focus to the role of youth in the water harvesting rather dragging them into the modes of technical things, right? So once again, good morning to all. As you know, my name is Shailesh Mishra, and I'm a very small researcher and a very small environmentalist, very small environmentalist. So I'm trying to do as much as I can do out of my kitty. So I'm currently managing a private limited company, Auto Noida Private Limited, which is based out of Noida and Greater Noida. I'm working as a chief mentor and also engage with a couple of private limited company, government organization, college ministries in various capacities. So this water harvesting, as I can understand, it is a huge topic. So, and most of the people, they have all the access to the internet, they have access to the Google and all these social platforms. So within the limited time, before I'll take off with this subject, I like to brush up the knowledge of the students so that, we can discuss it in a very simple platform. So hope you guys are okay with it. So what exactly I'm planning, we'll discuss three W's, which are the basics of water harvesting. So any topic. So we'll start with the three W. So first will be why rainwater harvesting is required. So before we'll conclude anything, it is very essential for us to understand why rainwater harvesting is required. Those are explained everything very clearly in a very detailed way. I wanted to focus on very small topics so that you can understand why it is important to save the water, why we cannot utilize other things, why we cannot utilize the entire hydrosphere. So it is very essential to understand. So we'll focus more on why rainwater harvesting is required. Then the second W will be what we can do as youth to preserve rainwater, to conserve rainwater, or to save rainwater. And third will be who all can do all these things, who all and at what level we can do. So being a youth, even if we have decided that we really wanted to do something, we really wanted to contribute to the society, or we wanted to uplift the society with our work, with our social activities. So we must understand at what level we can do. So let's understand the first why, as why rainwater harvesting is required. So before that, we must understand the basic quantum structure of our hydrosphere. So what is it basically our hydrosphere? What kind of quantum it has, what percentages of water is there. So we should understand that. So as we sorry, so as we all know that out of 100% kitty of that water, let's in case if we have 100% water, 100 liters of water within our globe, within our world, so 97% of the water is seawater that we all are aware of. That seawater we cannot utilize for drinking purposes. Yes, there are technologies, but the technologies are very expensive. It is very tedious, and to set up those structures and machineries to convert seawater into drinking water, it requires lots of cost. And every time doing all this thing is not possible. So here we are considering a student. Here we are considering a common citizen. Here we are considering the people who don't have the introductions to these machines and who don't have the affordability to buy these machines, what they can perform at their level. We are going to discuss it about that. So we have 97% of the water which has high salt, high mineral, and high salinity, which is not drinkable. So if we remove those 97% of water, we have approximately 3% of water, wherein 2.3 to 2.5% of the water is there in the form of ice, glaciers, which we cannot use. And there are a couple of companies who are selling very expensive drinking water, and those expensive drinking water will be as expensive as $1,000 per liter or $1,100 per liter. So they are selling those waters by liquidating the glaciers. So it is again out of the reach of the normal people, which we cannot think, and this is not practicably possible to discuss. So that's why we are removing it. So now we have 0.5% groundwater with us and 0.4% surface fresh water with us, wherein we have 0.05% of atmosphere and 0.05% of soil remaining with us. So generally, or if you see the aggregate percentage, so we have 0.5% water with us, which is drinkable, wherein we have the direct access. So generally, most of the students or most of the people, if you ask them about the drinking water, fresh water, there was a time when we have the accessibility to the rivers, to the well, and the open water resources, which we generally call as water pocket, pokhar or talab. So now we don't have the access, and somehow because of this pandemic and because of the environmental contamination extended to the human society by the industry, by the automobile, and by ourselves, we don't have, first of all, access to those resources. And even though if we have the access, we are not very confident whether you can consume that water or not, and the quality is also not very good at times. I mean, if I can quote an example, 30, 40 years back or 25 years back, when we go to the college, when we go to the school, we were having access of all the taps, hand pumps, and all, and there was absolutely no apprehension. There was absolutely no fear to drink I mean, water from those resources. Now most of the hand pumps are banned, or it is marked by government or the local governing bodies. Then the water is not safe. What is not safe? Because those layers are contaminated. There's a huge contamination in the layers of the soil, in the layers of that land. So the water is not good. It has lots of pollutant. So we don't have the access to that. Now, what water access do we have? So we have municipal supply of the water in some of the cities. In rural areas, in most of the areas, we don't have even municipal supply with us. So we are primarily depending on motor or a booster or a submersible pump. I don't know if the students are aware of it or not, but most of the students living in metropolitan cities, if they are living in a flat, if they are in a society, if they are in a RWA, so they are getting their water, they are getting their feed through submersible pumps only, right? So this is the way how we are consuming the water. This is the way how we are getting the water done. In some of the areas where the people are not satisfied or they don't have confidence for the submersible pump water, They have either RO machine with them, they filter the water with RO machines, or they have water supplier with them. So they supply 20-liter tanks, 5-liter gallons, all these things to them on a regular basis. They consume the water from them. So as we can see in our everyday life, we consume or tend to consume water on a regular basis needs to be recharged, because ultimately we have only one water resource, which is underground water, which is 0.5%. And we are digging a pit, we are making a hole, we are putting our submersible pump within that, and we are extracting the water. And we are keep on extracting it without any thinking that we need to recharge it. So since we have students within this platform, so I just wanted to make it very on a very lighter note. Then even if you are using a mobile phone, it needs to get charged. If you are using an internet pack, it need to get charged on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis. We are charging it. Even if you talk about your pocket money, which you are getting from your father, mother, brother, sister, whatever, it needs to get recharged, right? So if all these things to get recharged, which we are exhausting on a daily basis, then why not Earth? See, the Earth is like this. So I don't have any round shape in front of me. So if you consider this as Earth in the universe, so it is not connected with any auxiliary pipe. We are not getting water from any different planet. So it is just an independent, standalone planet, and we have our underwater resource within the planet, and we are consuming the water from that planet only, and we are keep on consuming. So earlier the layer was available at 4.5 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet, 30 feet, 65 feet, and now at some areas it is more than 200 feet. So earlier when we were digging at 5 feet, 10 feet, we used to get the water. Now we have to dig the submersible pump at 200 feet. And that too, we have is every time it is not very sure that we'll get the water or not. We have to dig it many times. In some areas, we have to dig it many times. And every year or every 2, 3 years, we have to refresh it so that we can get the water. So with this examples, you can easily understand where we are exactly, and what we are exactly doing. So we are just extracting the water without recharging it. So it is very difficult for Earth and for any society just keep on extracting the water without recharging. We are not recharging it because there is no way to recharge the Earth except to rainwater. Externally, if you talk about how to recharge, if you talk about the way how can we recharge the Earth, the only possible way is the rainwater, right? So before we discuss the point, we must understand the basic cause of this crisis. Uh, because I am the only person about to speak. Otherwise, I would have taken the questions. So I just wanted to know if you have any idea that what is the basic problem, why we cannot recharge it, why the recharge is not happening. So as per my understanding,
कोई
as as per my research, as I can see, there's only one problem, there's only one reason why we are not doing it, why we are not capable to do it, is the lack of information. You may say whatever, you may commit whatever, but what I feel that there's a lack of information. If you ask 100 people, if you interview 100 people, you will find that there are hardly 2% who's aware of it, what is water harvesting and why it is required. How can we do water harvesting? I don't know whether the people are aware of it or not. So it is very important to make them sensitized. So what I can see that lack of information is the basic problem. Forget about anything, whether they have machinery, we have the sources or not, whether they are willing or not, whether they have space or not, whether they live in a flat or in a society or they have a villa, independent houses. But the basic thing is they don't have the information. Because if you don't have the information, how can you do something? You cannot initiate anything, right? Because you don't have the information. So as I personally feel that youth you people can do a lot. You have that access. You can play a vital role in the terms of sensitizing people that the water harvesting is required. There can be different ways, as explained by sir. We have lots of platform, we have school, we have colleges, we have RWA, we have societies. So we can do it in a different way. But the basic thing is we have to sensitize the people that rainwater harvesting is required. This is the only way we can bring it onto the table. Otherwise, it is not possible. So let me explain you something about this. See, you know that we are buying water from the outside. If you go to a grocery shop, you are getting you may see there are lots of different brands of packaged drinking water available. I don't wanted to quote any specific name. Starting from 200 ml to 20 liters water gallons are available, and I mean, I'm very surprised to see the comfort zone of the people that we, I mean, including me, that we are buying a normal 1 liter bottle for 20 rupees and we are shamelessly drinking it. I mean, we are not paying any attention to it that the milk is available at 50 rupees per liter or 48 or 46 rupees per liter, wherein we are buying water for 20 rupees per liter. And we are so comfortable that we are buying it and we are drinking it. In a restaurant, we may pay 30, 40 rupees, 50 rupees, and there are different brands available for the water, which is a basic need of everyone. There are different brands available in the water, and we are proudly buying and drinking it. At times, we are, for the sake of for show off also we are buying water and we are drinking it. There are a couple of brands available for 150 rupees, 190 rupees available with a decent looking bottle, right? We are buying water and we are drinking it without thinking about the future. So ask, I mean, since you are very young, you guys are very young, you can probably ask your father, your mother, probably your grandfather, whether they bought any such things in their times. Then I don't think they have any identity. I don't think they have any idea that they bought, they have, they spend money for the water bottles and all. But we are spending 20 rupees, 30 rupees for buying 1 liter of water. Now, what after 10 years? Or what after 20 years? What after 5 years? Are we so capable that we can pay 100 rupees for that? Now it is 20 rupees. I mean, I just wanted to quote some example of Tamil Nadu. If you go to Tamil Nadu, there's a huge water crisis in the Tamil Nadu. I don't know if you are aware of it or not, but just to update you, that the prices of property in Chennai has gone down by 24 to 27% because of the crisis in water. The groundwater level is going down. The groundwater level is going down. That's why most of the people, they are avoiding to go to Chennai. They are not buying the property in Chennai. There is a downfall in the establishment of industry because of this rainwater, because of this groundwater level, because we are extracting it. And surprisingly, we are sitting at the seashore. We have a huge sea in the Chennai, still we are unable to do it. Why? Because it is created by us. Chennai is the place wherein the volume of rainfall, the quantum of rainfall is comparatively very high. Every day, approximately every day it is raining at around 6:30 in the evening, right? Still, we have that water crisis. Why? It is not because it's a act of God. It is not because somebody did it. It is we who are playing the evil role, and we destroyed and shattered everything. It is we the human. So we must understand that. I just wanted to quote again a different example, that if you go to Chennai, if you let me name the company, Kinley. So in Delhi, if you buy Kinley water bottle for 20 rupees for 1,000 ml, if you go to Chennai, the similar bottle, similar looking bottle with a reduced volume is available, which is 750 ml. Nobody has noticed. People, they don't bother to notice. Why? Because we have money and we can buy it. How long we can buy it, we don't know. Whether it will be so easily available for next 5 years or maybe after 10 years, it is available. Will it be available or not? We don't wanted to pay that attention. But I just wanted to showcase, I just wanted to quote two different examples in front of you so that you can compare and can understand that nowadays, I mean, we can see the changes since the water is still bit available in NCR. So we have that access. We can buy the water for 20 rupees a liter, but in Chennai it is 20 rupees for 750 ml. And the similar way it is going to rise, right? So try to think about one crisis. First, we are not saving water. This is one, formula number one. Second, we are buying water bottle for 20 rupees. This is formula number two. Now, the crisis is after buying a water bottle for 20 rupees, we are throwing that plastic PET bottle somewhere in the dustbin or some dumping zone. So again, it's a non-dying monster. We are creating a water bottle. We are creating a waste. Since I have been working for managing e-waste, managing plastic waste since ages, and we have been sensitizing the society how to manage the waste on a daily basis, how to control it, how to defy it. So again, the second thing is we are buying a plastic bottle and we are throwing it in the dustbin and contaminating the environment. So this is formula number two. Now, formula number three. So you can do the experiment also. If you have one RO system in your house, go to the RO system. There is a pipe in the outlet which is taking out a very viscous water. You can say the water with high salinity. I don't know if you have that quantum with you or not, but if you check the RO system, it will give you an efficiency maximum of 20%. Otherwise, generally, RO has an efficiency of 5 to 10%. But if in case if you have a good RO system, though there is no standard, there is no compliance to the RO system, what should be the water capacity, what should be the filtration capacity by the authority. So I'm not complaining on that. Here I'm talking about a normal person, about their understanding when they are buying a RO system, right? So from a RO system, the water generation capacity, or you can say the conversion capacity, is only 5 to 10%. That means if you put 100 liters of water in an RO system, you will only get 5 liter to 10 liter of water, right? If in case if you want to do the experiment, please do it. Take the pipe from your kitchen, put it in a bucket, and wait. Just empty the RO system and wait till the time it will become full, right? And you can gauge it. You will be surprised to see how much water you are wasting to convert it from the RO. I'm not saying that you are doing a crime by having RO. I'm just trying to make you understand that using a RO by you or by the industry generating this water bottle or packaged drinking water, it's a very expensive thing than to save rainwater. If you save the rainwater, you can utilize the similar rainwater after few months, or the water will the conversion rate will be 94 to 95%. That means the water droplet will come down, it will go to the earth, it has its own natural filtration process, it will go down, and the same water you can utilize for the drinking purpose. It is safe because the rainwater is not contaminated. It is we who contaminated the media in between, so that it is getting contaminated. So if you can save the rainwater, out of 100 liter, you can utilize 95 liter or 90 liter. But when you talk about RO, out of 100 liter, you are using 5 liter or 10 liter. So with these three formulas, you can understand how we are adding to the contamination of environment, how we are making the environment so toxic, which is ultimately impacting us. So it will be, now it is going to be a non-dying monster. If you think that one day any government, let's not name the government even, whether they're chanting, they can do whatever. But unless until we are sensitized enough, we'll take our own oath that we really want to do something, we cannot do anything. If you think it will be done, you are mistaken. I really don't want to say anything, but yes, nature has its own neutralizing technique. It will definitely neutralize, right? So we must understand all these things. So now focus on the topic that what will actually happen when you filter the water. How? When I say you, that means we individual and also the industry who make packaged drinking water. They either throw it outside, throwing where they are throwing it actually, in the sewage or in the gutter. That will add to the contamination, that will make a slurry. So I don't want to now discuss on the content and salt part of that, because that will be a different topic. But it will ultimately add to the slurry in the gutter and sewage, which will infect the system and it will contaminate the environment, right? Now, if they don't do anything, or if you don't do such things, what you will do? You will just throw it out like anything. So what will happen? Water will get evaporated, it will go above, it will get mixed with the industrial pollutants. It will get mixed with the particulate matter, and it will become either slurry or it will rain as its acid rain, which will have a huge percentage of sulfur dioxide and all. So we'll again not discuss about that thing. So ultimately it will get discharged and create acid rain and will mix with the pollutants created by the industries and automobile waste, right? Or if nothing will happen from the above two, it will ultimately get mixed with the groundwater with a high salinity. It will increase the percentage of salt. It will increase the percentage of those minerals in your water, which is not advisable. So it will increase the pH level of the water, right? You will buy a machine, you will check the pH level also. Oh, again we have to apply RO in it. Now the percentage will go down. If the pH will shoot above 500, so again the percentage will go to now 40, sorry, 5%, 3%, right? So again you have to refilter that. So that will again contaminate your groundwater. So ultimately what we are doing, we are nowhere supporting the environment by using all these things. We are basically using plastic bottle and whatever plastic packaging material we are using for the water, that will keep on adding a layer that will get sandwiched within the soil. It is not allowing the rainwater to go inside the earth. So what will happen? The water will get evaporated. It will go somewhere else, right? If we are not so for to preserve that, what we have to do? We have to create a proper pit. We have to take care of our recharge pocket, which we have been doing in our ancient times, which is typically called pokhar, talab, or any water body in our local language. So what we can do? We have to take care of those water pockets and water body. We have to keep it open and clean without any polythene, without any such thing, so that water can go directly to the ground. Since we are not doing all these things, so least we can do is to create a water harvesting pit. You can collect all the water from your rooftop, you can directly ground it, and you can save it in case if it is feasible. It is not feasible, just earth the water, that's it. Earth has its own filtration system. It will filter the water, you can reutilize the same water. It will not only enhance and uplift the water level near to your house, but also for the society, right? So you are doing one sort of charity, which is actually not charity, but it will do. Because see, one thing I wanted to, I know I'm running short of time, but what I'm trying to make you understand, see, there's a pandemic going on since last 1.5 year, 2 year, right? We were banging our head, we are doing so many things, but ultimately we have two medicines with us. We have two medicines. We are anticipating that medicine can at least save us for say 70%. So with the help of our science, with the help of doctors, researchers, we created the medicine. But boss, we cannot create water. Do whatever, we cannot create water. So what do you think? Pandemic is more dangerous or this water crisis? So this is our choice. We must understand that this is very, very complex situation. We cannot be like those saints who are sitting without water and food. No, our metabolism will take thousand years to make us sustainable without water, to make us, you know, a person who can live without consuming the water. So we don't have any solution than to do the water harvesting if we really do want to do something, right? So as said by sir, we can do so many things. Only the one and only thing we can do is the sensitization. You ask your father, if in case if you are employed, you are earning good, if you're buying a property, ask the builder, ask the colonizer whether they have water harvesting facility within your property or not. You can ask them. You can ask your parents that if you are buying a property, please buy a property where the water harvesting facility is there. In case if you have an independent house, doing water harvesting is a very cheap process in your house. If you don't want to do some very complicated thing, you can easily do it for 10-15,000. That you can do. Please do that. That is a very, very, very important thing. And I personally feel that consuming these free of cost resources, right? uh, and I mean, like air, water, and all these things, we are in the deep layers of loan, which we can only repay by doing something good to the society. So at least you have to do your bit by creating a club, by creating a group in the WhatsApp, a club in the college, or probably some kind of, you can collect the hobbies, and you can keep on sensitizing the people that we have to do the water harvesting and all. And I mean, as I sponsored more than 18 water harvesting projects. So in case if you need any support, you can probably ask the channel for my contact detail. You can call me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook. With all whatever capacity and knowledge I have, I am there to support you. But the basic thing is you have to sensitize this society that you have to do the water harvesting. This is the only alternative I have.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shailesh Mishra, for giving your very informative, descriptive about the water harvesting. I'm sure the views which we have expressed has enlightened not only those who are participating, but everyone who is viewing this show or those who are going to view this show afterwards. Thank you very much. Paucity of time, so I have to move fast. Now I would like to invite my first youth guest, and she is Miss Greek Silchi Sangma. Miss Greek Silchi Sangma, you have heard our chief guest, Dr. Shailesh Mishra. Please unmute yourself. Now, we would like to know from you the role of youth in water harvesting. Miss Greek Silchi Sangma, please.
My name is Greek Silchi Sangma. I am one of the tribals that reside in the state of Meghalaya, which is in the northeastern part of India. So with reference to the topic that is given for today's conference, I will be delivering a speech on water conservation as a whole, because one of the basic purpose of harvesting water is to conserve water itself. So, and of course, when we talk about water harvesting, the only popular method that comes to everyone's minds is, of course, rainwater harvesting, which is a very suitable topic for today, because we are undergoing a rainy season nowadays, and we are receiving this sufficient amount of precipitation to carry out this harvesting method. So I would be also be talking about how we can drive youths towards this water harvesting and water conservation and water management as a whole. So first of all, why youths? Why is there a significant duty in the hands of the youths towards management of water? The first reason is that youths like us who are still engaged in our studies, we have these creative minds. We have this require energy and time to do something about the issues that we are experiencing in our environment. It has always been youths who have come forward and do something about the issues that are being experienced in the society, whether it be social injustice, whether it be something big like environmental crisis. It has always been youths who have taken parts. So when we talk, the first step is always lies in the education of the child, as our respective chief guest has said that the major problem is the ignorance. The major problem is lack of education. It all depends on the education of the child in schools and colleges. So this environmental studies, it has been included almost in every curriculum in almost in every school's curriculum. But there are only few schools who go beyond this classroom teaching and who promotes students to really practice these eco-friendly measures in reality. There are only few schools who do that. I have experienced it personally myself, that there are only few who organizes activities where students learn to practically build models like water harvesting models in science exhibitions, and there are only few who get such opportunities. And secondly, there are also lack of resources in schools, which contributes to the ignorance of the child towards these eco-friendly measures as to how they can harvest natural resources. So my point is that schools should go beyond this bookish knowledge and classroom teaching towards encouraging the students to exercise it in a practical life. And after students are educated about such measures, they can start at home. They do not have to go directly by organizing campaigns and going out there and raising awareness. They do not have to do that. They can start it at home itself. It all starts with educating your little brother not to use your not to leave your tap running. I mean, it all starts with educating your friends and everyone in the family not to leave your the tap running if you're not using it. It all starts with small contributions like this. And talking about big contributions, you can, set an example in your community by, harvesting water through rainwater harvesting. And you can set an example like how sustainably you can utilize rainwater, and how important it is. And it is the only option. There is no other option to harvest water, as it is the only way that we can recharge water resources. And about raising awareness and about reaching out to, a group of people, there is no better platform than social media nowadays. As now in this situation, we are going through a very difficult situation, and it is hard to reach out to public, in practically. So we have to adapt to the new normal of using these online resources. So these social media platforms should be utilized by the youths. And since it is youth who have this, better knowledge of social media, it is youth who have this tighter grip of social media. So youth should make use of this, advantage to educate his or her peers, educate the community as a whole. And, they should also update themselves with the various online sources that update them with the new and creative harvesting methods. They should know about the condition of the environment all around the world through these online sources, and in this way they should use these social media platforms for the benefits.
Please be brief.
The third point is that I would like to conclude with this example that I was in this state level exhibition where people from different states come and they present their present various ways in which they can solve environmental crisis. So there was this one boy. He was the son of a farmer. I think he was from Rajasthan. So I was really struck by how creative his mind is and how he has solved the problems of his villagers. So his problem was that how he uses this natural resource, how he uses this haystack for moisturizing the field, so that I'm not really clear about it, but how he uses this, what he have
please conclude.
Okay. So I would like to conclude by saying that we should learn from these people who stays at the villages, who have these best ideas about preserving the natural resources. We should learn from people from villages, as people from towns and cities are we use these resources luxuriously. So I would like to conclude that we should learn from this kind of people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sangma, for giving your views. One point which you have raised is very clear, that the schools and colleges should give experiential education instead of bookish knowledge. That is a very valid point which you have made. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Ms. Janvi K. Nair. Ms. Janvi K. Nair, you have heard our chief guest today, Dr. Shailesh Mishra, as well as the earlier youth guest. We would like to know from you the role of youth in water harvesting. Ms. Janvi K. Nair, please. Please unmute. Yeah, go ahead.
Namaste everyone. My name is Janvi. I'm studying class 12 and I'm from Kurapati Munshi Pavans Vidya Mandir, Portur, Thrissur, Kerala. And I'm here to speak on the topic, the role of youth in water harvesting systems. Yeah, we are all familiar with the topic, what is water harvesting systems. It has always been in our country, and it had lost its relevance a few years back, but it has to be implemented in each and every one of our houses, as the water resources are depleting each year. And there are currently a number of harvesting systems in our country, like the Tanka in Rajasthan, that is in Thar Desert, or the Ahar Pines in South Bihar. And in Kerala, of course, well known for its greenery and backwaters, we have the ponds, the temple ponds, as a great harvesting systems. So I would mainly like to focus on the topic, what can the youth do in water harvesting systems? So you can play a vital role by acting as stakeholders, policymakers, and by taking up responsibility and revolutionizing their ideas for water management. By this way, the youth can act as a catalyst who can bring about changes which we need, because the youth immense the potential to mobilize the masses and can act as a link between two generations. With the active participation of the youth and their interests, we can start up many projects which will be a great success. The necessary measures in the form of rainwater harvesting, then the groundwater recharging, and then the proper management through appropriate legislative measures can be initiated. The government of India and the incredible interest of the youth have started up many projects like the State Water Resource Management Strategy and River Basin Plans. So by indulging today's youth in all of these projects, we can capture the imagination for future advancement. So the potential that today's youth have, we can spread awareness people to how truly and in the best way how to manage water resources. And also we can, with the power of the youth, we can protest against the pollution spreading industries, and also make some changes to the policies by helping the government so that they can take initiatives for better water management. So I would like to conclude by saying that we should start this rainwater harvesting system as it's an advocate strategy through which we can save the world globally. We can, and also it is really important as it's excellent merits for each community. And this is not only for our generations, for all the upcoming generations, we should collect this water. And as the famous quote says, we have not inherited our planet just from our ancestors. We have actually borrowed it from our future generations. So we should return it back as it's the same way, because we cannot, that is not the right way to do. So the youngsters should come out with incentive structure and logistic assistance to make it a real success. And it should be participated by people all around the world. And even in the Sustainable Development Goals, the 6th goal even specifies that we should ensure water availability and sanitation to all. So we should make this all happen. And as we all know that charity begins from home, we should also contribute to our society by starting it from each and every one of our houses. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Janvi. You have made a very, very important point. That is that nature we have not inherited, but rather it is borrowed from the future generation. If we will all have this thinking in our mind, the youth, if they will have this in mind, definitely they can motivate themselves and to others for the water harvesting. Thank you very much, Ms. Janvi, for your views. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and he is Mr. Neeraj Basrani. Mr. Neeraj Basrani, you have heard our chief guest, Dr. Shailesh Mishra, as well as you have heard the earlier youth guest. Now, we would like to know from you the role of youth in water harvesting. Mr. Neeraj Basrani, please.
My name is Neeraj Basrani. I'm a DJ, musician, and I completed my graduation in diploma in mechanical. And right now, I'm working as a video marketer and video editor in Ask Avi area team. So, like, if I talk about the today's topic, which is
in which city? In which city?
I'm from Gujarat, like a small city in Gujarat, Godhra.
Please go ahead.
If I go talk on the topic, like what is the role of youth in water harvesting? First, we have to understand what is harvesting, what is water harvesting. So there are like few ways to harvest water, but I will speak on harvesting rainwater, which is like suitable right now. And as rain is coming, and we have to bring awareness among the people, so people can get to know about it, because we have been studying it about in schools, but it all was like bookish knowledge and like in a theoretical way, but we haven't applied this in a practical way. So if we help people to bring awareness and to educate them through a like better way, like right now social media is a medium that we can connect with the people in a great way, because by like running campaigns and like doing workshop and events, we can bring awareness about the water harvesting. So like these elements like oxygen and water are like free, and it's like a gift of God, and we are like ignoring, and we are not grateful to God for like having it for free. But right now, after this pandemic, we have been facing crisis like oxygen, and also we have been facing problems like water in states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, then Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, few more. But what is the issue that we are not aware about the crisis that we are facing? So how can we bring the solution if the people they're not aware about it? So by like doing events and campaigns and like using the technology in a good way, so that's the way we can lead to a like greater future, and we can do greater deeds, because God has sent us to do like some like serve people and to make this world a better place to live. So if I conclude this topic, I will only say that we must be grateful to each and everything that we have, no matter what. We have water, we have oxygen, but it's free. But if we are not aware about the crisis and the future of like future generation, so how can we make sure that like this crisis like oxygen and water shortage will be there? So we have to take a leverage in a good way, so we can educate people and bring a positive change in this environment and on this earth. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Neeraj Basrani, for giving your views. You rightly said about the water and oxygen, which are free. And in this pandemic, we have seen how much money people were shelling out for buying a cylinder of oxygen. God forbids tomorrow, no such type of pandemic should come when the water will be the scarce and we will not get a pure water, as our chief guest has also mentioned. So we must start conserving our environment, and we should see that we must do the water harvesting. So tomorrow there should not be a crisis. Thank you very much, Mr. Neeraj Basrani. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and he's Mr. Satik Mohanta. Mr. Mohanta, you have heard our chief guest, Dr. Shailesh Mishra, as well as earlier youth guest. We would like to now know from you the role of youth in water harvesting. Mr. Satik Mohanta, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Mishra. It's a great topic to talk about. And yes, youth can act as
please introduce yourself.
Sorry, sir. Sir, I'm Satik Mohanta. I am from Jalpaiguri, West Bengal. In the given topic, I would like to say that youth.
And what you are doing right now?
Sir, I'm currently doing my PGDM in marketing and operations.
Okay, go ahead,
yes,
please.
I also in my spare time do this social activities. Yes, and also I'm interested in water harvesting, and I would like to say that we as a youth can act as a stakeholder in this great endeavor, and we can first and foremost it is that we should be aware of the process, aware of the benefits, and how we can make it as a sustainable. So the first and foremost problem is the awareness, lack of awareness. People, I've seen in the first hand that people around my neighborhood aren't so aware of this, or they don't pay attention much to this issue. But mark my words, we'll be running out of water in the upcoming 50 to 60 years, as prophesied. So in order to prevent that, we need to make some changes make some changes with the help of our technological proliferation. We can introduce some policy regarding water harvesting. We can introduce the technological aspects to make sure the stakeholders and the common people are aware of it. And also that the process, we need to be aware of the process that in future, how we can build this up in a major scale.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohanta, for giving your views. Yes, if youth will take a decision that they must do the water harvesting, then they definitely create a change in the scenario. And tomorrow, after 50, 60 years, because as predicted or projected that there will be a scarcity of water, it can be avoided. Thank you very much, Mr. Mohanta, for giving your views. Now, I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Miss Savleen Kaur. Ms. Savleen Kaur, you have heard our chief guest, Dr. Shailesh Mishra, as well as earlier youth guest. We would like to know from you your views on the role of youth in water harvesting. Ms. Savleen Kaur, please.
First of all, top of morning to our chief guest and all the great leaders and all the amazing people who have participated today. I really appreciate your efforts because this is one of the topics.
Please introduce yourself first.
Yeah. This is one of the topics that is overlooked. If I talk about myself, my name is Sableen Kaur and I'm a passionpreneur at Sableen English Academy. I am also engaged in some social causes, like I am working upon communication skills of various students in an NGO. Apart from it, there was a time when I couldn't introduce myself, but I have taken my passion to another level, and now I am providing training pertaining to communication skills, interview skills, etc. to doctors, trainers, and a lot more professions. I'm from New Delhi. Talking about this topic, it's harsh reality, but water is everywhere. There is no one to save it anywhere. Let me quote by telling you one example. So few months back before COVID, there was a time when doctor told me to wear mask every day because I had severe allergy problem. But I couldn't wear it. Why would we wear this mask if it is not mandatory? If awareness is not there and if collective efforts are missing? I was very shy. I was like, only I am wearing this mask. There is no one who will be wearing it on the roads. So it will look odd. Similarly, if we talk about water harvesting, I have been asking a lot of people, do you do water harvesting? Do you save rainwater? They're like, why so? See, because other people in the society are not doing. Maybe your relatives are not doing. Maybe your neighbors are not doing. So you will not find the need to do. We must not ignore the fact as human beings, we are greedy. If we need that, if we have that one reason, why do we need to save water, then we will be able to do it. So that why can be in any terms. I was listening to a video, I was watching a video that was by Rajiv Dikshit. He was simply saying that rainwater is the best water to drink. It is one of the best waters to drink if we mix it with soil and with, all the pebbles and purify it after boiling it. So that can be my motive because we are moving towards organic stuff and everything. And everyone wants to have, pure water. So that can be my motive because I'm health conscious. So I may find the need or the urge to save water. Similarly, we must have that one need to save the water. If we talk about South Africa, over there, people are literally, they have urge to have water, but it is one of the countries where we know that water is not available. Similarly, we must also have the need and the urge to save water. So your why is dependent on you. You only can find out that why to save water. And rainwater harvesting, we have read in our schools, in books and everything, but the practical part was missing. Did any teacher take you away and told you this is how we can do it? And did it happen in your school? The answer is no. That's why we haven't taken the initiative. We all are aware. We have studied in our 9th standard what is rainwater harvesting, but it was closed in the books. We didn't apply it in practical manner. And I have gone through the entire process. It's not very expensive. It just takes, as sir rightly said, 6,000 to 10,000 bucks to have it. But we are not finding the need. Our why is not clear. If our why is clear, of course, we are going to do it. So what best I can say is that through social media, we can spread the awareness. But as youth, we think, why should we fight with our parents? Like I said to my father, do we need to do rainwater harvesting? He was like, why is there a need? So as a youth, if we can convince our parents, I need to go to party, it is important for me. So why can't we convince our parents that rainwater harvesting is also important? It all starts from us. As a youth, we can convince all the people, those who are there around us. And we can only prevent the pain of future by preserving this water. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sableen Kaur, for giving your views. Why? And you rightly said, as our chief guest has also mentioned about the why, but you really said, why can't you convince your parents? If you cannot convince your parents, how you will convince others? So charity begins home, as one of the participants has already mentioned. So the role of youth is very important. If they will start convincing their own family members, their relatives, their peer friends, etc., and see to it that the water harvesting will start, a momentum will start, then definitely the fear which we are having today that after 30, 40, 50 years, there will be no water can be gone up. Thank you very much, Ms. Sablin Kaur, for giving very, very positive views. Now, I would like to go to my last but not the least youth guest, and she is Ms. Simran Nagwani. Ms. Simran Nagwani, you have heard our chief guest, Dr. Shailesh Mishra, as well as earlier youth guest. Now, we would like to know from you your views on the role of youth in water harvesting. Ms. Simran Nagwani, please.
A drop of water is worth more than a sack of gold to a thirsty man. Good morning to our chief guest, Dr. Shailesh Mishra and Lal Goel sir, and all the amazing participants. I am Simran Nagwani from Jodhpur, Rajasthan, and pursuing an MBA from Noida International University. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Mohan Agarwal sir and Lal Goel sir to giving me this opportunity where I can share my thoughts of youth role on water harvesting. Water is the accelerator of life. But why we think about this so-called accelerator of life? In old days, water was easy commodity to use, but now a price tag has been on the water. Why water harvesting is important? It is important because water is the gift for us from nature. It is not like that we can produce or we can manufacture the water. No, it's not like that. It's important that we as a citizen play a small but vaster role in the conservation of water. Rainwater harvesting is one of the most popularly strategy to water conservation. Harvested rainwater is the perfect candidate for irrigation use in addition to so many other water uses. By using rainwater harvesting system to supply water for some or all our water needs, you can reduce our dependence on municipal treated water. Overall, rainwater harvesting is viewed as a practice that is socially acceptable and environmentally responsible, all the while promoting self-sufficiency. So no matter how powerful, how wealthy, or how influencer you are, you cannot live without water. And we have to aware about this topic. So what youth can do for water harvesting? According to me, we as a youth can do two things. Like firstly, as many people said, that we can use our social media to bring awareness about water harvesting. And second thing, there are many NGOs or people who work on the water harvesting. So we can join them also, like one of the NGO which I know, that is Sambhav Trust. Sambhav Trust is a voluntary organization that works with community towards social changes. Following Sambhav Trust work, people from across India have started taking steps towards conserving water. People have contacted with Sambhav Trust for appreciated their work and request to learn more. This work has brought many changes, like villagers who had to walk 10 kilometers to get water. Now we now have water in their village. Communities which never ever did agriculture now have their own lands to do so. People who would migrate to other states for work now live and work in their own villages. So what is remarkable is how communities have pulled in their resources to work towards self-realize. The youth are more attentive towards conservation natural resources and have become active in local governments. So we can connect with these type of NGO and aware about it. And fortunately, 50% of population under the age of 25, and that's the biggest strength of India. I would love to be optimistic about it, but let's do it practically optimistic. Lastly, we have to get out of the dependency syndrome that has been affecting us for the last so many years. We can't depend on the government or other to solve our problem all the time. People have to take it upon themselves and do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Simran Nagwani, for giving your views. Yes, you rightly said about the use of social media. You have a power nowadays. Youth have a power to use the social media in a big way. But only thing is, if you use in a positive way, and if you try to create the awareness, if you give the reasons that why the water harvesting is required for the future generations to come, even your own generation, after all, it's a long inning you have to play. So if you want the water should be there, available, even after 50, 60 years, you have to see to it that water harvesting has to be done. So thank you very much for giving your views. Now I would like to invite once again our chief guest, Dr. Mishra. Dr. Mishra, you have heard the voice of youth from different parts of India, right from Delhi, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Kerala, West Bengal, Northeast, from everywhere. And they have given their views. And they are very, very clear that they are interested for the water harvesting. Now, we would like to know from you how you feel that the youth, if the youth will take this initiative as they have shown today, that don't you think now the time has come that we can, if we will give more responsibility to the youth in policy making, in decision making, wherever we are appointing the committees, we will take them in confidence. It will be a game changer, and the water harvesting can be done in a very big way. Dr. Shailesh Mishra, please.
True, sir. I mean, I sincerely appreciate, first of all, the kind of understanding, knowledge level, and energy level our youth members have. So I sincerely appreciate that. And most of them are properly sensitized enough. They have the energy. They have a very clear vision what exactly they wanted to do. And some of them have a very clear thought processes with them, what they exactly wanted to do after this. So I mean, with this kind of energy, with this kind of clear vision, obviously, if they go to the society, if they do some social media campaigning, obviously they can achieve the target. They can achieve. They can convince the society, RWAs, their parents, and the local governing body to focus their target about the water harvesting. So definitely, it is very much possible, and I sincerely appreciate them once again. uh, I mean, before I conclude, I just wanted to say to the other people who are not directly participating, they're just listening to it. They are not saying anything. So uh, it is just because we can afford wasting water. We have easy access to the water. We just cannot ignore the people who don't have the access, and the animal who don't have the access of drinking water. So we are not doing justice with them. So we have to utilize our resources in a proper way, and obviously doing water harvesting is the solution. So that's all from my side.
Dr. Shailesh Mishra, now we have time. So I just want to know, because not I, rather our viewers also wants to know, when we have so much sea around us, can't we utilize the sea water and solve the problem? Dr.
Yes,
Mishra,
sir. We
please.
can utilize. Yes, we can utilize the seawater. See, I'll explain you. There are some complicated method to convert seawater into drinking water. So let's understand the process in a very simple way, right? So why we cannot use the seawater? Because seawater has a very high salinity of approximately 2.31 to like it so to 2.35%. So the salinity is very high. When we say salinity, that means the percentage of dissolved solid, the percent of dissolved minerals are comparatively very high in the sea salt. So if we drink seawater, sorry, I'm very sorry, seawater, we will be having endoosmosis. We won't be able to digest it, and lots of other health complications. So what could be the best way? So if you ask me, there are lots of machines which filters, which evaporates the water. There are boilers and all, and they separate the water. So people from Chennai, people from Tamil Nadu, if they really wanted to see, I have seen that there's a huge setup of this kind of plant in the ECR, East Coastal Road. Sometimes you call it OMR also, Old Mahabalipuram Road. So on the left hand side near to Crocodile Bank, there's a huge setup of converting seawater to drinking water. So they convert seawater to drinkable water. They supply the tanks to the local people, and they are utilizing it. So there's a company, they are doing it. Similar way in India, there are various ports there where with the help of government or with the help of some private companies and some organization, people are doing it. So most of the companies, they are funding their CSR for this kind of activity. So this is what companies are doing at their level, at a mass level, to extend support to common people. Now, independently, if you wanted to do something, try to understand the basic concept that by evaporating water properly and condensating it, you can make it, you can convert it to the drinking water. I'm just quoting an example. Take a pot, take a normal pot, and take a lid. That lid has to be in such a way so that water droplets can come down. Like it should be convex, right? So fill that pot with sea water. Keep that pot somewhere, put that lid in it, and make sure if the water get evaporate, it will get condensed to the lid, and that water droplets can come down some way, right? You collect that water. So after 3, 4, 5 hours, or if you keep it overnight, in the morning you will be able to drink it, right? Because if water will get evaporated, it cannot take its salt with it. It cannot take the salt. It is just the water vapor. If you collect the water vapor, it will be again get converted to the water. You can drink it. This is the simplest mechanism one can develop. It will not cost even 20, 30 rupees to convert seawater to drinking water. The similar way. So this is for the individual just to understand. And this practice, this has been practiced by lots of villagers, lots of people living in the coastal area who cannot afford RO. They cannot go to city and can get their water done. They are doing these practices, right? But obviously with the companies and to cater to the mass, we have the machines, but those machines are very expensive, right? So that's why the one individual can do it this way.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Mishra. So today you have seen the youth who have participated, they have given their views, and their views are very, very clear that they are aware that water shortages are coming. But they say, which is a very, very practical thing, they say in the schools or colleges, it's all bookish knowledge. They are not being given any experiential knowledge, which is required. So they want the change in curriculum. I'm sure the National Education Policy 2020 will be changing the thing because that is based on the experiential experiences. Number one. Number two, what our chief guest has mentioned, that water harvesting is very much required at present. But one thing is very clear, like other countries who have started distillation of the water, seawater, put the machines, and that's why they are utilizing like UAE, etc. India, we should also start this thing in a big way. We should not wait for the pandemic to come and then we decide to ramp up our position like what we are doing for the oxygen or for the vaccine. We must be prepared now so that tomorrow when there will be a water scarcity, if there will be, we should be ready for the alternative arrangement. But till then, we must do the water harvesting as we are being told today by our chief guest and all the youth guests. And today, I must congratulate all the youths because these youth are from the different parts of India and they are giving these views. Although the rains have already started in the southern part or the northeast, very soon it will be reaching to the north side. So if we will take a decision, even all those who have participated, all those who are viewing, to do the water harvesting now, they will be getting the benefits in a year or two. Thank you very much for watching our show. Yes, Mr. Mishra. Yes, 30 seconds.
I just have to say one thing. So since most of the people, they have mentioned that they haven't seen the water harvesting practically, it is just the bookish thing they are studying so far. So very soon in Saraswati College of Business Studies, which is there in N24, we are going to create a water harvesting zone with the help of the latest design, which is called sounding system.
Okay,
so
thanks.
We can probably,
yes, thank you very much. So today's program, which has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, News Gaon se Samvad Sarokar News, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you everyday new topic. But as you know that for last 1 fortnight, we have started a new program in Hindi in the evening, in which we are calling one achiever who has done something big. And we would like to know the life of that person. And the heading of that the program is Kal Aaj aur Kal Lal Goel ke Sang. And today's our chief guest is Mrs. Deepa Kaul, former Cabinet Minister, Social Welfare, Government of Uttar Pradesh. So please tune in today at 4:30 p.m. to watch Kal Aaj aur Kal Lal Goel ke Sang. Thank you very much, all our youth guests, and thank you very much, Dr. Shailesh Mishra, for giving such a informative, descriptive, educative which is very, very enlightening to all the youths as well as all the viewers. And thank you all the viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.